stop calling Charlie anything other than a civil rights leader.
What you doing, Glenn Beck? Nothing good. Nothing good. Nothing good, like all the rest are doing nothing good. Yeah. So we do not need a civil rights leader. I mean, the last big civil rights leader we had, well, it was the color revolution. JFK, MLK. It was. That's what civil rights leaders do. They help divide. Again, the revolution must go forward. And now that Erica Kirk will be heading up Turning Point, well, that threat she made about his voice will be louder and stronger and bigger, oh, well, she means it even more so. The devil's hard at work. We do not need a civil rights leader. So why are they pushing this? Well, it's the same reason that the Kennedys, JFK and MLK, they were colluding together, believe it or not. They were. That's the reason they both went after the intelligence agencies. So, because when you're in the middle of doing a covert color revolution against the freest country on earth, well, the first thing you need to do is you need to destroy the intel agencies or discredit them, which is why when JFK effed up the Bay of Pigs, he did it purposely, because he's not an idiot. He did it purposely. Again, he could have said no to it altogether, but Eisenhower told him, if you do it, you have to give air support. He didn't. He knew it would lead to this whole debacle and total nightmare. I mean, he led us to the Cuban Missile Crisis because it helped him create back channels with our enemies. That's what he did. Castro, Soviet Union. Yeah, he was not on America's side at all. So, yeah, your intel agencies would be the ones you need to discredit. And he never blew the CIA to the wind. He just, got rid of, the head of it, and then, they got people in they wanted, and they started it. The CIA is supposed to look out for our interests by looking out of the country, and they just ended up turning on to Americans. MLK, he went after the FBI for the same reasons. So it was a covert color revolution they were doing. Now that color revolution is way bigger, because Turning Point has a hold of high schools, even grade schools in some cases. Yeah, it's not just the universities. So that's that army. They have an Erica has all that army. So that's likely why Trump has to play it a certain way, He has to be, there's no way he doesn't know what's going on. It's just that to prevent, because that's what they do with the kids, the young kids, because they're easy to manipulate. So that's the reason, too, they're trying to make it out like, they turned MLK into a saint. He was just really somebody that just partied all the time and just wanted booze and women. But, this is why Edgar Hoover, he was a good man. He had good questions like, hey, MLK, yeah, when I see you're creating this entire movement across America, and yet your advisors are communists, that's a little concerning. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So the FBI had files on the Kennedys too, because they were tied to organized crime. So they had a color revolution going on. So that's why I had asked the question, and this was long before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But after reading the JFK files, that I said to people, I said, why was Trump spared? Why was Reagan spared? Why was Kennedy not spared? Why was MLK not spared? Why was RFK not spared? Why didn't God intervene with them, but did intervene with these? And people don't like that question, most especially your revolutionists, who majority of them are atheists that play like that they have a faith. But the fact is God would not intervene with those men. Because when you're at that high of a position, especially a political, I mean, because the Bible really is, you know, God is raising up the leaders and the kings, and he's doing it whether you think he's doing it or not. Then when he doesn't when he intervenes with some leaders and not others, whether if they are a huge political influencer or they're, you know, an elected official, if he doesn't intervene, then it tells you who they are. This world can write it off all they want. It absolutely does. This isn't just happenstance. That's why, you know, Glenn Beck acting like he has faith, sure. He knows all this. But that's the reason he wants to push that you can't call Charlie Kirk anything but a civil. Why? We do not need a civil rights leader. So why is he push? Because they want to push the same damn thing the Kennedys did and MLK did. So, yeah, so Trump's got to play this one, you know, however he does. I mean, they'll lose. Erica and her wicked self they can do the bidding for the side they work for, and that's not God's side. And I don't care, you know what, and people would say you're demonizing. No. You have people now trying to influence others that Charlie Kirk's spirit poured out on people. No. And one of the biggest things, if you notice, all of the people are saying, like the Glenn Becks and all of the, and it's overwhelming in a way because there's so many of them. Victor Davis Hanson, and you can try to tell yourself that maybe they just don't know. If they're influencers, they're influencers for a reason. Am I saying they signed with the devil or something? No, but they've agreed to push a narrative. And the very fact that people have turned Charlie Kirk into a saint, and that's not what he was. He was he didn't even, you know, I mean, he didn't even stick with God about when life begins, because it's not been about that. It's been about the color revolution. That's why it was a red flag to me. It's like, no Christian can call themselves a Christian while just acting like, well, let's disregard when life begins. I mean, that's what makes him a total false prophet. But he's been doing this for the past 8 years. He's had a hold of these high schools. Yeah, it's not just universities. He's been out at these high schools. So I get why the Trumps likely were close to him. Maybe they were trying to mentor him away from the direction he was going in. I don't know. I think he's been on that road for a while, though. Because one of the things they're all doing, this is why they want to turn, you know, his assassination into this, nobody's telling us the truth. They're just repeating the same thing, everything they did with the JFK. But they're going further, so if you can see it, then you can see how many of them are working for that side, and it's overwhelming, right? Yeah, that's why you need God. You don't need to be afraid, but there's nothing you can do. You're not going to go to war with them. But what I would suggest is start calling the bastards out.